We haven't seen Jamiko yet. Night Elf versus Human. I feel like we've been seeing that matchup quite a bit lately. Also in the War 3 Champions finals, we had a lot of this matchup being played. With the Night Elves, I guess you could say, coming out on top in the end. And it is a very standard opening so far. Alice with the Keeper first. Gonna try to get level 2 quickly. And then most likely look to harass and do as much damage as he can. Because pretty much universally, every human nowadays is going to fast expand against Night Elf. Whatever may come. Every map, every time, fast expansion is going to be the way. Alice going for the 2 creep camps at the same time. Creep route, which is pretty much standard on this map nowadays. You take out the turtle right there, as we saw. Get a good experience there. And creep the orange at the same time with the AOW. And with that you get a very fast level 2. Pick up 2 items. And it's a mantle plus ring. Alright. Average items. If it had been like mantle or claws, well, mantle and claws or mantle and ring. No, wait, what am I saying? Mantle and circlet. That would have been amazing, but the ring, yeah. Not so useful for the Keeper right now, who is continuing to creep over at the green cap. Fortitude delaying the expansion by a bit, maybe waiting for nighttime, which has now started. The creeps falling asleep at the expansion. It's going to be easier to engage them. As the tag is starting for Alice. Pretty early Hunter's Halt, so Alice can add in some Huntresses now as well to do even more damage to the economy. Take out some more peasants. Alright, here we go. Crucial moment of this game. How many peasants are gonna die? How much damage is Foritude gonna suffer? There's Wisp here ready to detonate. Uses it and gets the experience from the Water Elemental. Keeper level 2.3. If the Keeper gets to level 3 quickly, things get really sketchy, really dangerous for Fortitude. Last hit, though, does go to the human. Very, very important. He needed that experience. He needed that level 3. And now, level 2 Water Elementals are going to be a big help in handling this pressure. Hunter's putting in some good damage. Second Hunter's coming in. I wonder how many he's going to make. Normally, you don't really want to make more than 3. Because they will fall off very heavily later on. In the early game, they're very good. They're fast. You can save them nicely. You can put in some good damage. Especially on Concealed Hill. With the healing fountains, Huntresses can have quite some amazing value. Importantly, Fortitude, by the way, got the Staff of Teleportation, so the Keeper wasn't able to grab that one for himself to heal up from the Moonwells. But Alice still has some good mana on his first hero. The Keeper can still summon one more set of Treants, I believe, killing more peasants. This is a lot of peasant kills here, to be honest. But also some good denies. We've been seeing quite some denies here from Fortitude. This footy would also be important to deny, and he manages to get it. Once again, the Keeper Still struggling to get his level 3. Oh, one Huntress died at the fountain. I guess that must have been a peasant. Waking up the creeps. Or a footy. Probably a footy. The peasants are all busy at the expansion. Power building. Trying to get up the second base. Ooh, and we have a panda already. Alice adds in the panda second, which is pretty much standard, of course. And Fortitude having a rough early game. This was certainly quite costly. Pretty painful early indeed. And the panda comes in. Breath of Fire, more AoE damage. Staff from the Archmage. And with the Arcane Tower standing here now, I guess Fortitude is going to be fairly safe at the expansion. The question for Alice is he just going to go tier 3 bears all off of one base and try to push and all in? Or is he going to counter expand? And right now we don't know yet. Both options are available. And Fortitude is going to have to properly react. Footies are holding the line. The keeper is not quite level 3 yet. But he's very, very close. He needs only one more kill now. And that one single deny that Fortitude was able to get earlier was crucial. Well, actually he was able to get multiple denies. I think it was like 3 or 4 maybe. That was important. But now the keeper's level 3. Here we go, finally. That should be Entangle level 2. With that, you can take out footies very, very easily. But also, Fortitude, with the resource that he has here from the expansion, can spam footmen and produce loads of them if he wants. Is PCG versus Chimiko playing now? Yes. There's 2 games going on at the same time. Always here in the group stage. And, of course, we can only cover one, unfortunately. We see a Blood Mage second coming up for Fortitude. It took him quite some time to get his tech started and all that. But now he has finally unlocked his tier 2. Which also means casters will be coming and rifles. Most likely. Oh, good little creep check here by Fortitude. Gonna be able to take out some Huntresses. Oh, the Dryad just barely saved. Experience from the Rock Golem goes to the Panda. That was important. And he got a big mana potion. The best item possible. Gets to level 2. Losing the Huntresses here, I think, not that big of a deal. In the late game, they're gonna be very weak anyways. So, rotating them out right now and get as much value out of them as you can right now, I think is pretty decent for Alice. But the problem is, he still doesn't have a Tree of Life. Alice appears to be very all in here and forced to go for a big attack soon. He's not ready to take this into the late game. He's not going to be able to move into 2 base versus 2 base, so the clock is ticking for Alice. He needs to get Panda 3, a couple of bears, and then he's probably going to have to try to break the expansion. Alice gonna creep the merchant. Probably gonna pick up a heal scroll, I would imagine. And this should be level 3 for him. And then it's probably time to go. Thank you very much to Xenox with a 14-month resub. Alright, here we go. Panda level 3. 47 supply. But Fortitude seems to be ready. He's got the second hero now. He's trying to build his big army. 59 supply at the moment is not huge, but it's going to keep growing. Fortitude wants to build that big death ball, scary army. And Alice needs to strike. There's not much time left in this game. Once again, it's too late to counter expand. He is forced now to go all in. It's up to Fortitude here to defend. But 63 supply already for Fortitude is quite promising. It seems like it's looking better and better for our human player. Breath of Fire coming in against the peasants. There's 2 towers at the expansion. And this is looking like quite a sizable force already for Alice. For Fortitude, excuse me. Remaking the shop, trying to save the bear. 2 bears in trouble, and there's no staff yet. So 1 bear is taken out, and a second one. And that is heavy losses for Alice. That's very, very painful. And maybe not something he's going to be able to recover from. Fortitude building a bigger and bigger army. Takes out an archer and gets level 2 now on the Blood Mage. He's going to have Flame Strike now to work with as well. Catches another bear. Oh, there is a staff on the Keeper, by the way. I think he didn't use it before, right? Maybe he just bought it? I didn't quite see that. Maybe he just got it a moment ago. I'm not sure. Alice trying to get the big experience from the red camp. Loses 1. Dryad. Very unfortunate to the end snare right there. Oh, another bear is getting caught. He's got the staff though. Should be able to save it. Oh, no, just a bit too late. Wasn't able to get in range there with the staff. Another bear goes down. And now Fortitude has such a huge supply lead. His heroes are not looking that amazing. Level 4 and 2 on Archmage and Blood Mage. But the supply speaks volumes. 67 supply for Fortitude, 600 gold still left. Bears trying to engage into the human army. The first Flame Strike didn't really land too well. But we only have 3 bears here in the front line. The DPS of Alice seems pretty damn low, I gotta say. The early game, it seemed like he did some decent damage with that harass, but apparently not enough. I think the issue here was the fact that he wasn't going for a counter expansion. Alice did feel like the better choice was to play this more aggressive style, all-in style. But Fortitude defended nicely, was able to hold on. In the late game, got himself, was able to rely on the expansion and the bonus resources. As humans so often do. Alice trying to mount 1 more defense. There we go. Healing up the bears at the fountain now. It's going to be daytime soon, so he has to be careful about that. There's some big level ups around the corner for Fortitude. Level 5 and 3 on AM and Blood Mage. Almost reached. Level 4 on the Panda. Almost level 5 on the Keeper. Alice is not perhaps completely out of this yet. If he gets Keeper 5 and Panda 5 and can get really cost efficient with his heroes, maybe this is still doable. But the time is running out and Fortitude is looking to put on the screws. Close to 80 supply now is the human. Breakers, rifles, casters. Fortitude playing a really solid game here. Fortitude not so much a man for the fancy plays. He's not going to go for the Zeppelins. He's not going to go for the tier 3, triple hero, frag shards. Not even mortar teams, most of the time. Just breakers, casters, heal scrolls, and timing pushes. Oh, flame strike there. Connected nicely onto 2 bears, but also good splits by Alice, not allowing the huge flame strike to be hitting him. Here we see another one, but again, flame strike only hitting 1 bear there, really. Heal scroll use. I think that was the only heal scroll by Fortitude. His army's still looking very large and mostly healthy. Oh no, yeah, 2 heal scrolls. Second one used now, doesn't have one anymore, but the bears were all pretty much dealt with somewhat easily, I almost want to say. A clean game by Fortitude. Takes the 1-0 lead here without much hassle. Yeah, nowadays, for Night Elves in the late game, the issue really seems to be buying time. Or as Carson likes to say, it's always about... no, wait, what was it about? Finding the right transition, that's what I wanted to say. Carson tends to say that it's about buying time for the Night Elf, and I can definitely see that. I think that makes sense. In the late game, you want to have a big bear army. Ideally, you want to have high hero levels. Get up to like 70-80 supply. 70-80 supply with bears is very hard for the human to deal with when just all the bears converge together, do so much damage, perhaps with some Breath of Fire on top. But you have to manage to get there. You have to buy enough time and not fall to the human push before that. Because the human is, of course, always going to be fast expanding and is going to have the superior economy for large parts of the game. Especially when we saw Foggy in War 3 Champions. What was it? Semifinals? I think it was semifinals against Sok, right? Yeah, we saw him against Sok, where he played really, really amazingly with hit and runs and expansion, attacks, little pokes, managing to buy so much time for himself to get that big army and win in the very late game. Here we didn't really get to the very late game, as Alice didn't even attempt at all to try to counter-expand. Which is kind of unusual on Concealed Hill especially. Natural to natural position is pretty far away. It's really hard to get from one expansion to the other because of the high ground path in the middle and it's being kind of obstructed and stuff like that. So I wonder if Alice is just not going to do that much at all, if perhaps he much rather prefers to play at one base and look for that timing. But it does come at quite the risk. I'm trying to get information, results from the other games, by the way, but at the moment I have not been informed yet. Chimiko, of course, also is playing his games simultaneously. I thought we were gonna see him here, but not quite yet. Alright, map 2. New map. New chance for Alice. What's it gonna be? Echo Isles. Echo Isles, very interesting map. In this matchup especially. On Echo, it's very easy to creep the natural. It's easy to creep level 3. And you also have a very accessible Merc camp. That opens up the door to many other hero choices than just the Keeper and Archmage. Those are of course the most standard, but on Echo Isles, with creeping especially being so easy, you can get a bit more greedy. You can go for a more ambitious, level-hungry hero choice, like the Warden, like the Mountain King, or sometimes even a Demon Hunter. We've seen Colorful lately incorporate the Demon Hunter once again into his play against Human on this map, which is pretty weak on basically every other map, but Echo Isles is a bit of a unique map here in that regard. And with that, we are ready for map number 2. Alice spawning on the left-hand side. As you guys may know, on Echo Isles, it's a bit weird with the creeping for Night Elf with the Ancient of War, because it's not a perfectly mirrored map. On the left side of Echo Isles, it's really, really risky to go for the Merc Camp creep with the Ancient of War. Because on the left, if a peasant is running over and is looking... So, militia is what I mean. Is running over and is trying to scout the Ancient of War at the Merc Camp, he can actually force a cancel by pulling the creeps. And for that reason, Alice is not going for the Ancient of War at the Merc Camp. Rather, he's placing an Ancient of War in the south next to the gold mine, which is pretty cool. So this seems to be a change of pace for Alice. He's ready to creep the natural and expand very early if it's gonna suit the game. And I think it should. Fortitude going for Mountain King first is very, very likely gonna be fast expanding himself, so this could indeed turn into a 2-base game. Hey Remo, congrats to your qualification. Thank you. Yeah, last week on it was Friday, right? Yeah, Friday. I qualified for the ESL Meisterschaft relegation. So I'm not qualified for the Meisterschaft with that. I'm just qualified for the relegation to try to make it into the Meisterschaft. That was pretty cool. And now I'm going to be playing in the relegation in 2 days. Mountain King creeping the Merc Camp first. Is going to get a fast level 2. And hoping for a good item. This one can make a big difference. Talisman of Evasion is not the best. It's going to be pretty good in the late game maybe. When he's going to be the frontline tank. But in the early stages he certainly would have preferred something like a Ring of Regen especially. Or a Pendant or something like that. Oh, early Hunter Soul by Alice. Second Ancient of War. Ooh. Alright. Okay, boys. I thought he was going to counter-expand and play 2-base himself, but hells to the no. Alice is going to play this really, really aggro. And try to all-in, push, and destroy the expansion here of Fortitude. And tie up the series. Mountain King is close to level 3 already. If the Keeper could steal some last hits here to prevent level 3, that would be huge. But it's very, very hard to do. Oh, big moment! And the Keeper doesn't quite manage to get the experience right there. And with that now, MK does reach level 3. Berserker goes to Fortitude. Very, very important. If Alice had gotten that Berserker, this Huntress pressure would have been quite a bit more dangerous. And we're going to have plenty of those Huntresses coming up soon. Fortitude with a really early shop. Tower and shop first before the expansion. So it looks like 40 knows exactly what's coming and wants to get ready for the push. He's power building the lumber mill. He's scouting outside of his main with the red dot to see if there's proxy APs coming up somewhere. He's got the telestaff. He sold the talisman. And it does seem like Fortitude is pretty ready for whatever pressure's going to be coming. But you cannot underestimate these huntresses. This kind of an attack and all in. Because once there's like 5 or 6 hunts out, maybe a bit more, footmen are going to have a very, very tough time. Oh, the Mountain King. Did he see the wisps coming? He saw the second Ancient of War. But I think he knew that already. And the time is ticking for Alice. He knows once the expansion is standing for the human, he's going to have all that gold income. It's going to be quite hard to still win this game. The window is quickly closing for Alice. He's under pressure right now to make things happen. Get things done. And this guard tower is going to be important as well. Alright, here we go. APs coming up. Fortitude falling behind. Or not falling behind, but rather falling back into the shadow of his towers. Calling some militia here to help might be a good idea. If the APs finish, it's going to be Trouble City. Here we go. Militia coming in. And now Fortitude has to engage. If 40 cancels these APs, he should be in a very good spot. Militia take out 1 AP. Rest of the army takes out a second. Can at least 1 AP finish here? It doesn't look like it. Nope. It does not look like it. And Fortitude with a really good defense right here. Militia duration is over. They're going to have to run back, but they did their job. They canceled the APs, buying a lot of time for 40. And he still has the shop standing. He can go for some clarities and regen scrolls right now. There's basically no units left for 40. It's about to hit daytime, I think. Alright. Bit of a hiccup here, but we're ready again. Alice is staring down the barrel right now. He's down 0-1 already. If he loses this map, he gets no points from his first match. Fortitude with a 2-0 would get 3 points from this best of 3. And now it's daytime. Berserker hired already. Fortitude would love to perhaps also go for a Mauler, but he doesn't have supply available at the moment. Alright, 1 AP did finish, finally. Alice, he needed something to go his way. Is this going to help him now? Well, there's so much normal damage, so this AP is actually getting taken out quite quickly. Oh, and 2 Berserkers. That is so much range DPS. And Alice going to have to give it up. Calls for the GG. Solid defense by Fortitude. And a convincing performance. Kind of similar games on map 1 and 2.